Many military veterans and current reservists are employed as city workers. I'll have some comments on that. And the local school district has welcomed new principals to several elementary schools. You'll get to meet one of them. And we'll show you something our Public Works Department does that you probably never think about, but it's a great benefit to you. These stories are all coming up next in City Happenings for the week of November 7th.
Thanks, Mayor Black. The city has several military veterans and current Guard and active reservists on staff. Papio Vision asked Mayor Black for his thoughts.
If somebody, all things being equal, if you could hire a vet or a non-vet, I think I'd go with the vet almost every time because of that work ethic. People aren't doing things just because it's a job. I think a lot of the vets understand the mission of the organization. Their lives were about mission. They gave their lives for mission. And I think what's made that real for those of us in Papillion, just in the last, what has it been, less than 12 months or 18 months, we've had two young men who've given their lives. And one of them, the community came out, we welcomed him home, and then he went back to Grand Island to be buried. And then that was Mark Naziska, and we named Polk Street after him down by Lincoln. People can go there and see that sign. And the other one, Joseph Semper, just came home recently and then was buried here. You just have to have pride when you think of people, when you think of America and the history, and the military is an absolute key part of that, back to the original founding and even up until today. And to realize that people will voluntarily give their lives, whether they're just giving their lives time-wise because they're taking a couple of years out, or literally giving their lives so we can enjoy the things we have. And Papillion's a little unique. I think even back to World War I, a book was recently published on the history of Papillion, and there was a picture in there of some guys going off in World War I, and the city had come out for a parade as those guys were leaving. And then even up to today, like you mentioned with our relationship with the base, we have a very high military makeup. So I don't know if it's just the area we're living in, why we have so much military, but you're right, we have a lot of military employees. I think we have probably every branch. We still have some people that are active in the Guard or the reserves, and we've had some that have recently been deployed. I don't know what you can say other than just honor and high respect for everybody that served. And then they don't just clock in 8 to 5. When they're here, they're on a mission, and they care. I think that's the biggest thing. One of the interesting things, though, if you start understanding the types of jobs, well, the types of ranks and awards that some of these people got. We've got some people who was maybe a full colonel, and they're doing a labor job in the city because they love the place. That's what they want to be doing, but yet they'd been used to commanding organizations. We have other examples where somebody was enlisted, but yet they're in leadership positions here. Again, just the work ethic and the way people want to be involved, and the egos are not there. It's all about the team. What can we do? Let's get it done. They understand the mission and they love this place. What can you say to a vet other than thanks for giving us our freedom?
There's been some movement in the local school district. There's a new principal at Trumbull Park Elementary.
Why the move? Strictly because I had been an employee at Walnut Creek for 11 years, and I saw this as an opportunity to kind of start my own thing in a new building, new staff, new families, and I really was looking forward to that. So when Mr. C left, I kind of saw that as an opportunity to move forward and move my career forward as well. Things have gone just fantastic. I expected to have, the staff here just welcomed me with open arms. I can't say enough about the staff. I've got to know them a little bit better in the past, couple months, but the transition itself was very, very smooth. Mr. C left me in great hands here, and we've been able to continue a lot of great programs that he had in place, and I've also been able to kind of put my spin on things as well coming into a new building, but it's all been great. It isn't that different, to be honest. The families here have been fantastic. They have welcomed me. I feel a lot of those same connections to the families here that I felt at Walnut Creek. It's taking me some time to get to know families and students, but for the most part, the environment is very, very similar. You know, other than the buildings looking completely different and, you know, run a little bit differently, it's been very, very similar. I believe the foundation of a strong educational system is building those relationships. That's what gets you through. So that's always a goal for mine, and I always will have new staff coming in, and I always will have new students and families. So building those relationships and making connections with families is always my top goal. Another goal is continuing the strong trend of education that's happening in this school. We have good reading scores, we've got good math scores, and I want to keep that tradition going. So again, working closely with staff is a goal. Keeping our, you know, our weekly meetings that we have, our staff meetings, our professional learning community meetings that teachers have every week, being a strong person in those meetings is a goal for me, so I can be an effective leader in the building.
Just as residents need to keep their sewer lines clear, so does the city.
It's a chemical that we use to kill the roots in the sewer line, and it won't harm the trees. So it'll kill all the roots, and they'll eventually break off, and we'll catch them when they come downstream. This will take care of the roots in our lines, and they don't have to be treated. About every third year, you may have to treat it again. But so it really works. It does a good job on it.
If the city doesn't keep the lines clean, that would mean trouble.
Oh, very much so. People can have backups, and that creates a mess. Getting somebody in there to clean it up, and the damage to your furniture, your carpet, and your drywall. But this is very necessary to be done, and it's not a cheap process. We usually try to buy $5,000 to $6,000 worth of chemical a year. That's about all we can fit in right now, and we just break it off in small parts of town. The older parts of town have the bigger trees where we hit first, and then we're going to start working out into the newer areas. If there's plastic lines in the streets, we don't have to do those. Those have good joints. They're glued tight. It's these clay tile pipes that we have to be very diligent on maintenance and keep an eye on them. So you'll see us around. Just be patient with us, and we'll get it taken care of.
Our annual Winter Wonderland is coming up Thanksgiving weekend. It happens Saturday, November 26th from 5 to 9 p.m. right in front of City Hall. Get more information right here on Papio Vision or go to the city's website. For more information about Papillion, go to www.papillion.org or call the Mayor's Hotline at 402-827-1111. Thanks for watching.
Come out to Winter Wonderland. It happens in front of City Hall, 122 East 3rd Street on Saturday, November 26th from 5 to 9 p.m. There's live music, hot chocolate, freshly popped popcorn, free carriage rides, and Santa and Mrs. Claus. Mayor David Black turns on the lights at 6. Enjoy stories with Mrs. Claus at Sump Memorial Library.
You're right.
Downtown stores have extended their hours and will have special activities. Winter Wonderland, a Papillion tradition you won't want to miss.